Good evening and welcome to the Art of Living Children and Teens Facebook Live and YouTube Live. This is Gauri Nair, Regional Director for Children and Teens Programs. Welcome to all of you. So happy to see all of you out there. Today, we are joined by experts in the field of nutrition, physiotherapy, and exercise. We are having a lovely panel today, so stay tuned. I would like to welcome my co-moderator, Dr. Ashwin Pandit. Dr. Ashwin Pandit is a surgical oncologist. Welcome to the program, Dr. Ashwin.
Thanks a lot for inviting me on this program. And there are so many questions which even I want to clarify. And now that we have got the experts in the field, even I'm waiting for this session.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for inviting me on this.
Oh, it's my honor to have you with us, Dr. Ashwin. Dr. Ashwin Pandit is not only a surgical oncologist, he also takes children and teens programs, and he's done such wonderful work in the prisons in Hyderabad as well. We have a program called the Smart Yes and Smart Art Excel, which is where we convey these knowledge to children in prisons as well. Thank you, Dr. Ashwin, for the wonderful work that you're doing. I really, bow down to you for all the wonderful work that you managed to do despite the work that you have in the hospital and caring for children, caring for adults alike. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yes. And now I would like to invite Dr. Alka. Dr. Alka, she's a physiotherapist. She is based in Pune, and we would like to hear from you, Dr. Alka. And while you introduce yourself, I would also request you to share something that has inspired you to choose this field of expertise. Over to you, Dr. Alka. You will need to unmute yourself, please.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. So, I'm a physiotherapist. I would say it's a very challenging profession, but at the same time, very rewarding and satisfying career, I must say, because it makes a real difference to the quality of one's life. It enhances you can hear me?
Yes, Dr. Alka, we can hear you.
It enhances their health, improves their mobility and function to the maximum. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Alka. We are looking forward. In fact, Dr. Ashwin really wants to interact with you and bring out the best from you. Looking forward to interacting with you, Dr. Alka.
Yeah, me too over here.
Welcome on the panel, Dr. Alka.
Yes. Next, we would like to invite Miss Sneha Krishna. She is an exercise, sports, and nutrition coach. She's also the founder of Transcendfit in Bangalore. There is something called gyrokinesis, in which she is the only certified gyrokinesis teacher in India. Welcome to our program, Sneha. And we would like to hear a little bit about yourself and why you chose this field. What inspires you? Over to you, ma'am.
First of all, thank you for having me here, Dr. Ashwin and Gauri. It's really an honor to be a part of this event. What you guys have been doing over the last few weeks is commendable, especially during this lockdown stage. I started off my career as a Pilates teacher. I've trained in Singapore and in India and across all over the world. I specialize in rehabilitation, sports rehabilitation. So I work with a lot of sports youth youngsters who are into sports and help them recover from their injuries and move forward. And also being a Pilates teacher, I help them condition it so that they don't encounter any injuries as they go in the future. I'm a level 2 certified nutrition coach from Precision Nutrition. And I guess and gyrokinesis as well, the one you mentioned. Yeah, it's a fantastic form of mobility and mindful training, just like yoga, inspired by yoga, which movement isn't anyway. So I think the biggest thing, the giveaway or the biggest benefit of all being able to be in this industry for me over the last decade or so is it gives me a direct feedback and a huge amount of satisfaction when I work with people. When they benefit from it, either in terms of their health or being able to progress in their goals, any kind of goal, whether it's a mindset challenge or their physical challenge or a nutritional challenge that they have. I think it gives me an ultimate pleasure to be able to see them progress and move forward. So some kind of service there, I guess. So it's fabulous. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So thank you again. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the panel. I have never heard of gyrokinesis.
Gyrokinesis. Maybe we should all do one online live session. You just need a chair and a mat, so you don't really need anything else. So it's fantastic.
Maybe we'll request you, Sneha, to give us a live demo one of these days on our Art of Living Children page. That'll be really nice. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. We have Dr. Mangala Gauri, who is a child psychologist. And she is very young, very vibrant, very bubbly, and very settled inside. Dr. Mangala Gauri, over to you. Welcome to this program. We are so happy you could come and be with us.
First of all, I would like to thank everybody here, and it's really an honor for me to attend this confluence. And I would like to just give a brief introduction about myself. I come from a marketing background, and and I'm a mother of 3 children. So the thing which brought me into this field are my 3 children. So when I had my first child, and when I was looking for school for him, then I could see the dearth of educationists and the psychologists. People here in India, everybody can become a teacher. So this is what brought me into this field, and I could see that unlike other professions like engineering and doctor, teacher is also a profession, and people here don't consider it as it is. So I wanted to bring a change in this thinking in people, and another thing is to bring some revolution in education system and in upbringing of children especially. Ms. Gauri,
you are muted. Gauriji, you are muted. Could you please unmute yourself?
That is so wonderful what she shared. And she has not shared much of her professional background as much as how she progressed. Your background is so amazing. You are an educational psychologist and pediatric psychologist as well. You have been in this field for the last 17 years. And you have done your business administration as well, along with your MSc. Very, very commendable, Dr. Mangala Gauri. Thank you so much for being with us. And a little bit about Alka ji. Alka ji is a very good friend of mine. So I couldn't go more into her professional background because, that connect is always there when you see your own. Dr. Alka Laddha is a consultant physiotherapist in Pune and works with leading hospitals in Nasik, Surat, Baroda, Hyderabad, and Pune. Thank you so much, all of you, for being with us. We also have Purvi Shah ji, who will join us shortly. She is a nutritionist. She's a clinical nutritionist and dietitian. She also has her own food company in Mumbai, where she incorporates nutrition into her products for young ones, like bakery items as well. She will join us soon and talk more about it. Yeah. So, Dr. Ashwin, can I request you to take the discussion forward?
Yeah. Welcome everyone once again. So the last time we had a discussion on health in children and teens, it was established beyond doubt that health is something that we need to start at the childhood itself, and a healthy child will produce a healthy adult. So I would like to talk to Dr. Alka ji. Many of the adults nowadays face this problem that they have vague pains over the shoulders, in the back, in the lower back, and most of them are just considered to be mechanical pains. And this is just considered to be because of lack of physical activity, and physiotherapy is advised to them. Now, should we start physiotherapy at a younger age? I mean, before they start developing these chronic pains, will it help the children to avoid these pains when they become an adult?
Yeah, definitely, Dr. Ashwin, because today's lifestyle is such it is very difficult to cope up with so many things, and especially the physical body, because we hardly give any importance to ourselves. So when a child, from the childhood itself, when we really work on their fitness, their physical abilities, their joints, their muscles, so definitely when they grow up, it will be like they will be in a proper physique, and the things, disorders can be avoided. Physical disorders, that is the pains in the neck, in the back, and the knees, the ankle especially, they come across the sprain in the ankle. So when we build up the muscles, we tone up the muscles and the flexibility of the joint, yeah, definitely it is going to work out to the bestest. Yeah.
I think most of us, when we think of physiotherapy, we only think of it as a post injury rather than cushioning ourselves or cushioning our bones and muscles to face the injury or to protect the body or make it strong. What do you say, Dr. Alkaji?
I completely agree, Gauriji, with you, because jab tak I don't have the migraine or asthma, I will never go to, to show myself to the doctor. We don't take the first aid beforehand. This is the basic nature of a human. So I would really suggest keep from the childhood itself, when we really work with the children's physics. Definitely, when the child grows up to the teens and come to adult, he will have a healthy and fit body. So it is not physiotherapy. You should come to the physiotherapist only when you have a pain. Yes. But yeah, definitely you can just go for an overall assessment of yours, right? So it
Yes.
will work to the best, and you can avoid those small here and there which can lead to a fatal things in long run.
Long run, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I think, Sneha, you would also have the same thing to say, or would you like to add to this, Sneha? Because I know you help people recover from their injuries as well, especially sports injuries.
Yeah, I mean, if parents start to notice as their children are growing up, there is really no harm in getting, them to a qualified physiotherapist or a physical therapist, where they can do a postural analysis, help them understand early on how this will help them. Most children are always used to kind of looking down into the phones all the time. They have a neck forward syndrome, and end up with a back pain or a neck pain most often. So this will really help them understand their posture better, and early on get to start working on their bodies in a much better way. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sneha. Now, when you speak about screen time, yeah, my next question is to Mangla Gauri. When we talk about screen time, a lot of parents are worried about children spending so much time in front of TVs, in front of laptops, phones, gadgets. Yes. So, what is the psychology behind this, Mangala Gauri? Okay, I think
Yes,
maybe yes. Are you here? Yes.
yes, I'm here. Yes, the basic psychology behind this on screen is many parents and many people are little scared of this on screen. As per WHO recommends, for the child in the age group of 1 to 5, the WHO recommends 1 hour of on screen activity is absolutely fine for them. But again, what is this on screen that we need to, whether it is interactive or non interactive? So that thing is what we need to focus on. Suppose I'm talking to you now, we are using technology and it is something that is on screen. This is still fine to some extent. And if it is like beyond 1 hour of off screen in a day is something, yes, we need to bother about. That is one thing. And another thing is, now in this present scenario, most of the schools are opting for online learning and all these things. So what we can do is this is something which is very unavoidable. And in this case, a child is at least exposed to this on screen for 3 to 4 hours in a day. So what best we can do is we can do some balance. We can balance it with few activities like meditation or some breathing exercises and all, so that this thing on screen time, which has affected the child's midbrain, many psychologists speak about right brain and left brain, and now it is a very common thing that people like almost everybody knows, like right brain is for logical thinking and left brain is for creative thinking, like this. But there is something known as midbrain where we don't put more focus on. This on-screen activity actually affects the midbrain in a child, which is the intuitive ability of the child. So what, as a parent, what we can do is, how we can help the child is, we can make the child do this breathing exercises, pranayama, and small mindfulness exercises. And child can be aware of few things like whatever, if the child is playing or eating something, just bringing awareness into that, the child can aggravate, it can initiate that midbrain. It can it can still develop that intuitive ability in himself or herself. So there has to be a balance between everything. For a mental health, there has to be a balance between all these things, off screen, on screen. Suppose even if we are doing, sometimes, see, I like meditating for 4 or 5 hours altogether, but again my left brain is involved in that. So I can listen to some music, I can just go for a walk, I can do all these things, so that my right brain is also involved and there is some balance in it.
Wow, that was a great, the insight for us about the left brain and the right brain. Thank you, Mangala Gauri. Yes, Dr. Ashwin, would you like to?
Yeah, one of the problems which many parents are facing during this lockdown, actually two problems. The first thing is restricted physical activity. So as Mangala Guruji was saying, that we need to balance activity and non-activity. Okay. So could you suggest us a few things that the parents can do at home so that the child can perform these activities at home? Sneha ji, could you please suggest a few exercises or a few activities?
Absolutely. I think it is very important to practice what you preach, right? So you don't want to come from a space where you're only preaching to your child to keep moving when you're not doing anything yourself. So I think involving them and distributing house chores right now would be one of the easiest way to keep them active. Even if they're smaller kids, help them fold clothes, load the laundry, or remove them at least. So smaller tasks for the smaller children, and the grown-up, slightly older kids could be given a slightly bigger task to keep them active throughout the day and distribute the chores in the house. I guess that will keep them physically active, and also that they're contributing, to the activity or the functioning of the house. There's a sense of teamwork that gets to happen there. I think that's a great way where parents and children, together can function in a house to keep themselves physically active, which is non-exercise related. And that comes very easy, right? And then exercise related, they can, stipulate a particular time of the day where, there are so many things available on YouTube these days. And I think Art of Living itself offers a lot of yoga classes online these days, isn't it? So, I mean, I think there's so many options that people can log into one of those things Say Monday we'll do something that dad likes, Tuesday we'll do something that mom likes, and you can alternate between what the children like as well. So, and I think that would keep everybody involved and interested, and then they can keep working and moving. And like Mangala Gauriji said, music can be a great a tool for motivating them to do all of this, the music that they like. So you can pick up those things as well. So small things like that can really have a huge impact on an everyday basis, as opposed to being specific that you have to train in a particular way, you have to do this, because it's not sustainable given these circumstances, because our moods are not the same every day, right? I hope that kind of answered your question.
You have really opened my eyes, because I have a 3-year-old at home, and I keep thinking I can't teach him yoga. And how do I make him do that activity at home? So I keep running with him and all. But you have given me such a easy and a practical solution to this, that there's so much work at home. Just involve him in that activity, and that's it. So it was a very practical.
And the
thing.
basic tools of life, isn't it? They need to learn them as they grow up.
Yes.
And then they also get to learn a different skill during this time.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. In fact, when the lockdown started and there was all this panic happening, I remember one of the parents asking Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji this question. How do we, what do we do? How do we do this? I mean, with children, and how do we keep them engaged? And this was one of the answers Gurudev had given, that involve children in your activities. Let them help out at home and do it together. Let it be like like how you said, a community program, like a family togetherness, quality time, and children will also learn this. I feel, especially after talking to a lot of parents and educationists these days, academicians, teachers, they've all been sharing the same thing, that parents have been protecting their children so much now that, children expect things to be done for them rather than them contributing to the family. And I've also seen this when we take these workshops. Initially, although children have it in them, that it is within them, that intrinsic value of helping, caring, all of it is there, but are we giving the environment for them to do this?
That's true.
So this
Absolutely.
is something that is actually the talk that is going on now.
I think Dr. Alka had something to add to that.
Yes. Yeah,
very true. I agree, because this is the time where we can have a family bonding with each other. So apart from all the house chores, we can, as a family, we can have nice stretches, half-an-hour stretches, full family coming together, or we can have, like 1 minute, 2 minutes dance steps. So it really adds a fun and the joy among all of us. So yeah, with the daily routine things, with the daily chores, if we add little fun in that, this makes the life beautiful. This is what learn from Art of Living, actually. Blending
Yes.
both things and work together.
Absolutely. In our, yes, Purvi ji is here with us now. Purvi Shah ji is here with us. Let us welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello,
Purvi.
hello, everybody. Sorry for the delay. My connection, I couldn't get through. Sorry, extremely sorry for the delay.
We had done your introduction and we were waiting for you. Now we would like to
No,
hear
I was
from
not.
you.
Yeah. I have done my MS Nutrition from Nirmala Niketan in Mumbai, and then I worked for Nayar Hospital, and then after my marriage, I've worked with Dr. Sanjeev Shah, who's an endocrinologist in Mumbai. So I worked for him a couple of years, and then I founded my own company where I now develop healthy recipes and serve, kind of more to cater to people, where I take orders for all kind of healthy cakes, plus healthy meals, salads and everything, and the indulgent one also. So I balance out both the things then. Because now with the demand of keto and this thing, gluten-free and everything, so I work with a lot of those recipes, and I have my clientele to whom I cater to then.
So, what kind of diet would you suggest for children?
When it comes to diet, I always feel that, diet means the first thing comes to your mind is diet means restrictions. No,
Yeah.
diet means nutrition. Rather than restriction, it is nutrition. Why don't we look at it at a broader way of point? Because I
Yes.
always feel that, whenever people, oh God, I have to diet, or I have to eat like, diet food means I have to eat boring food, I have to eat boiled food. No, it can be your normal food, and it's like a holistic nutrition rather than like, just eating what concept we have been having for years. So I would always like to tell the parents that rather than diet, it's the nutrition, it's the overall nutrition which you are looking at, which is more important, where you are having a balanced meal. And I always feel, of course, I have two kids at home. One is 22, the other is 17. So with them, I know how I go about things and everything. So like my older one, he's very health conscious and an exercise freak and everything. But then I know how to, because today, like, kids get carried away with their friends, the diet trends, what everybody is following and all. And somehow I am never of an opinion that, you should cut down this from your diet or you should cut down that. Rather, you should have a holistic meal. And of course, what you need to curb is your sugars and your refined foods, which nowadays I feel the parents, because they feel, it's much easier to buy them the ready to eat packs, whether the mothers are working, parents are working. So they find it much easier to just pick up, but they never know, or they don't read the fine labels, that how much of uh, preservatives, dextrose in the form of sugar and all, and anything which is on the shelf, even if they say no preservatives, no additives, it cannot stay on a shelf if it does not have that. So,
True.
and even the home food can be made interesting what you are normally eating. So you really don't, the mothers don't need to fret, oh, I have to do a separate thing. So I always feel it is just the attitude which you have, and the kids, you need to tell them that at least how to, because, and what are the restrictions, what is healthy, what is right, and what is wrong. You need to tell them, okay, you want to have a cake, you want to have an ice cream, you want to have a cola, yes, you could do it once a week, maybe on a weekend where there is a cheat day, or like, you can, yes, you can have it, but it shouldn't be an habit of having it every day. Because when I see my son's friends and all, like, even after school, oh, they are standing, they are drinking, like, at one go they can have 500 ml Pepsi at a go, which is like sugar, 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 and nothing else. That's why I feel they are always on an high, and they are always too hyper to do. That's what I have been generally observing and seeing.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't look like a mother of 20 and 17 at all. In fact,
Thank
I was
you.
very tempted to tell Mangla Gauri ji also that, when she said 3 children, I was like, what?
No, my older one just helped me out, with with me to connect into this thing, because I was not being able to do for my MacBook. So he said, because he's already working, so he's telling, I have my office laptop, let me figure it out on that.
So sweet, so sweet. Thank you
Yeah.
to your elder one.
No, no, thank you.
Sneha, our next question is to you. I was just listening to Purvi ji and how children and teenagers get influenced by their peer group, and maybe by advertisements and all the products that are available. You have all the high sugar products, you have the high calorie products. Now that part Purvi ji has just told us about it. My question to you, Sneha, is we have a lot of us affected or impacted by celebrity diets, celebrity exercise regimes also. Yeah. So what is your take on it? Especially we see a lot of youth and teenagers following these fads. And I wouldn't say it's not just them. Okay. It's like basically everyone who wants to look like them, get into these fads. So could you please throw some light on this?
Absolutely. I guess I was also one of them because it's very easy to get drawn into this vicious cycle of societally driven goals because they're all around you. They're on the billboards, they're on the TV, right? They look
Yes.
a certain way, feel a certain way. You have arrived in life only if you have this particular car or if you wear this particular branded outfit. It's all basically like that, isn't it? So it's easy as a child, when you grow up with all of that in your atmosphere, it is so easy for you to get absorbed by it, and you don't know any better. And so I wouldn't really blame it entirely. It's just that we have to change the whole system itself, per se, right?
Right.
But how can parents deal with it, or how can children deal with it? By having a scientific outlook to this whole thing, by actually rationalizing it, by actually going into the depths and analyzing this whole thing. Let's say a new diet or a new fad comes around, actually deconstructing it into bits and pieces, and then analyzing it and asking, okay, that is their lifestyle, this is my lifestyle. Do I think it's going to work for me? Or maybe try it out and see, how am I reacting? How is my body reacting? Am I losing it out on my whole family by trying to follow it? Am I missing out on the special food that's made by either my mother or my wife or my siblings, right? So all of these things have a huge impact. I think we'll have to look at it in a more a scientific perspective, and teach people how to really look at it from a more logical point of view, rather than just blindly following it. Most of us are just looking for leaders, right? We don't want to be leaders, but we're looking for leaders who can help us lead. And it makes our lives easier to follow somebody. And somebody who's already achieved something, and if we like what they look like, that becomes something that we would automatically want to follow. And that I'm sure Mangla Gauriji can throw in some extra light into what the human brain or the psyche
Yes,
of the human brain works around that.
yeah,
So I
exactly.
think, go ahead, Alka. Yeah.
I think.
One line I would add,
Yes.
Manglaji, the real life is very different than the real life.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
Very
true.
true, very true.
And it's perfect. She perfectly said it, that real life and real life are very different. Lives of the celebrities and our lives are very different. They've definitely worked very hard to get where they have got for themselves, but that's their goal. Do you want it to be your goal? Is it working for you? I think the biggest question that by practicing precision nutrition I really learned is, ask yourself one question: how is it working for me? I think that will kind of suffice and help you take your one step forward. If you ask yourself honestly and truly answer that honestly, then I think you'll be in a position to figure out if it's not working, where have I reached so far? Where should I go? How do I re-strategize? So that's another topic that probably Mangla Gauriji can throw much more light on, that it's never failure. It's always feedback. That if you haven't been successful in a particular diet or a particular protocol that you've been following, it's never about the diet. It's never about you. It's about the diet that has failed to work on you. So you want to re-strategize the whole thing. So, but each of these diets, having said all of that, have certain goods to offer. They're all saying some good things. They're all saying eat good food, eat good sources of food. So pick those as the good things that you can get from it, and see if it is working for you, is what I would definitely say.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I could see that Mangla Gauriji is talk.
Yes. So here, like children, not only children, even we sometimes tend to become like a celebrity. We think and we act like somebody whoever we really like. So this is basically from childhood, knowingly or unknowingly, as Snehaji said, we look for a role model. We always, a child for its growth, he or she wants a role model who they can follow and they can become somebody. So here what is happening is, like for this chips packet and all, what you can see is they're telling that you can't stop at
At
one.
just one.
So this, what is happening is, since the child is looking for a role model, he sees that thing in maybe a Shah Rukh Khan or somebody. He is looking them as a role model for himself. So how parents can really help a child here is they themselves they can become a role model. That is one thing that they can do. And the other thing is what they or either they themselves they can become role model, or as Sneha ji said, they can rationalize. They can, instead of telling children that this is not good for your health, they can tell that this has all these things. Do you think because now right from grade 1 they are learning what is nutritious food, what is good for their health, what is junk food, what is, so right from grade 1 the teachers have been teaching this. So they can just, instead of telling whether it is good or bad, instead of labeling it, because over a period of time when a child reaches teen, the first enemy is their own, the child's own parents only. They start looking at their parents as villain. So right from the beginning, instead of telling this is good or this is bad, this is right for you, this is wrong for you, instead of taking decision for a child, the parents can make the child stakeholder of his or her own decision. So just throw light whether this has all these things, this has all these effects, and then let the child only come out of it. Initially, maybe the child cannot come out of it, but yes, eventually over a period of time, definitely he or she will definitely come out of it. So this is something not only for small children, for anybody. Even I don't like if somebody say that Gauri, this is not good for you, Gauri, this is good for you. Then I think that why should that person take the decision for me? So children should be the stakeholder of their own decision. This is something. Then this affects the psyche of the child, and when it grows up big, when the child, when a person, when teen graduate into an adult, then he will become a very good decision maker. Otherwise, he will have this problem of indecisiveness throughout his life. So this has got so many things. This one example we can take, and we can go like way too long. This happens throughout the life, and if the parents are not starting this in the early stage of uh, upbringing of children, then they are going to suffer. Then later they will tell that my child did not take the good decision. Or another thing is the child should stand for whatever decision he or she has taken. So that is also there, and parents have to respect whatever decision the child has taken. So in this case, they themselves they are becoming role model. Then I don't think any child will look for any other role model in this world. And having a role model is also very important for growth of any person, even till the end. Not only now, I am now in my 30s, but even now I look for a role model. Like, can I become like Vivekananda? He lived only for 32 years, 36 years. Can I become one like that? What did I achieve in my life? So by the age of 32, 36, Adi Shankaracharya and Vivekananda, they could achieve so many things. Even now, in my 30s also, yes, I look for a role model. So that is, and rationalization will really help children in becoming a very good decision maker. And this era where changes are the only thing that is changes, uncertainty is the only certainty here. So this kind of bringing this kind of attitude in a child will really help the child. So parents need to work on it. Even teachers at school, even educationists, whoever is involved in upbringing of children, even the DDs, the ayahs, whoever is there, yes, they need to be educated about this, and they are really a part of this system, this ecosystem of a child. So every person in this ecosystem is responsible for a child's growth, and everybody must be educated in this.
We are talking about a paradigm shift in the psychology or in the mental makeup of parents, teachers, even ayahs you were speaking about. In fact, if you go a step back, or maybe a couple of decades back, we also used to have this Sanskrit shloka, which says, when the child is a teenager, when the child, grows into his or her teens, treat your child as a good friend. You should treat your teenager as a friend. So I guess all this knowledge was there in our ancient times, and they have been passed down to us, but somewhere along the way we have disengaged from this knowledge.
I think it
Sneha?
helps even when the children are much smaller than teens. You know,
Yes.
what I've done, what I used to do with I have a single child. What I used to, so not a handful. What I used to do with my child when she was little, that when I always used to meet her at her eye level, even when she was tiny, right? And when I used to communicate to her, when she gets answers or reasoning, when you're reasoning out what you're asking them to do or why you're saying no to something, it's much easier for them to say okay to you. They agree to you much sooner than you coming from a place of hierarchy and saying no to them. You know, don't do this. Why? If you have no answer, then I will. And also, I think parents, as children keep growing up, need to be a little bit of an agnostic, because just because we don't know something yet, that doesn't mean that our children are wrong, doesn't mean that their perspective is wrong, just because we don't know how to look at their perspective yet. So I think we need to be a little bit more skeptical about that, give ourselves some time, think about it before we kind of pounce onto them saying that they're right or wrong, you know, whether it comes to whatever their reasoning is. Isn't it? Am I right, Dr. Mangala?
You're muted, Mangla. You're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Yes, absolutely, Miss Neha. You're 100% right. Yes, that is what parents need to look into. They need to grow along with the child. If I have a 1 year old child, yes, I have to become a 1 year old child, and I have to grow along with my child. Only then I can bring some. If you want to bring something good, if you want a child to know the purpose of his being in this world, yes, you have to become like that, and you have to grow along with the child. And that is why even gods and goddesses also, we worship gods and goddesses. We say Bala Tripura Sundari, we say Balaji, we say Balagopal. So this is all because just that childlikeness in a person. Yes, we need to become like a child and grow along with the child. Only then, only those people who do this exercise, I don't know. This is something. See, only those kind of children can become real entrepreneur in their life. They will be future ready. They will be startup ready. Otherwise, it will be very difficult if we just dump them with whatever we wanted to do in our life. No, that is not right. We are not doing good to to a being in this world. And as you said, you used to sit down and sitting in eye level of the child. Yes, everybody has to do this. This is
Very
very
nice.
important thing
So we
in
need to stop. We need to stop telling the children to grow up. Instead, we need to go down.
yes,
I think we
yeah.
need to be
That's
balanced as parents also. You know, we need to be firm where we have to be firm, because otherwise tomorrow, I remember one parent asked Gurudev that, I left my child decide. He says, what should I do? I mean, how do I go about it? And then the parent came back and, I mean, sorry, he left she left the child decide. And later the child comes back and says, why were you not firm with me? If you I didn't know about it myself, right? So you just let me go. And so I feel parents do need to do their homework. They need to be firm where they need to be firm and guide children, because see, we have all been through all of this and we have come here. But sometimes we also forget that we were once children, how we would have wanted to be spoken to, or what really, I also feel there is a gap when it comes to parenting, because only when you have a calm mind, like for example, we are talking in a very calm mind with a lot of clarity. When the clarity is there, then you know what to do in each situation. You have a presence of mind. But sometimes when children are around you and they're screaming and screeching and demanding, which is okay, it is their nature sometimes, you get thrown off balance. I can see Ashwin laughing, and I know he's mentally going back to his son or daughter. So, I would want to have Purvi ji also. I'm coming to Purvi ji now. Now, for parenting, we go to the next topic, for parenting, we have a wonderful workshop called the Know Your Child for children and Know Your Teen for parents of teenagers. Know Your Child is for parents of children, and teenage is a different ball game altogether. Okay, so we just guide you through parenting with parenting tips and to understanding your teenager better, to understanding your child better. It's a wonderful program. You must look it up on our Art of Living websites and register for this program. It's a very interactive 2.5 hour session where we have a little bit of insights on why a child behaves in a certain way and what do we need to do about it. Now, Purvi ji, how do you make food interesting, fun for your children and others? Now, I know you run this amazing food outlet which has lots of goodies as well, but yes, they are nutritious also. Please throw some light on this.
I always felt, I was never of an opinion that the kids should, like, my kids still date, even if they, like, my older one is 22, he goes to office, he works, but every day I make sure that I give him a packed lunch. And he's like, initially he was like, no mom, I have such a big state of art canteen in my working place, and I would, like, just take something. Down the days, like, 2 days down the line, he was, no, I'm fed up, I need your food. And I always feel that, even the basic food, like, I used to, even when my kids used to be small, I used to hide, like, my kids used to never like, especially my older one, he was a very fussy eater, and he used to hate eating veggies. And I used to just disguise the veggies by smashing up and putting them in our theplas or our parathas, even, like, making a pav bhaji and just like mashing up all the vegetables and putting it where it used to just go tasty. And even the normal roti sabzi, I used to just make it kind of a roll for them, and I would say, today is a, and aloo tikka wrap or something like that, which makes it just more interesting rather than, giving your kids, like, I'm very firm till today that, only like Saturday, Sunday is 2 days of the week where you can, if you want, you can eat outside. That too in the evenings, morning they have to have lunch at home. So, and it's like, it's just the thought, like, nowadays I think people don't like cooking much. So it is like, they feel that it's too much of a process. Like, if it is a diet food or a healthy food, I'll have to, like, have a big inventory of fancy ingredients, which you really don't need to. Our basic food is so rich in nutrients. We don't need to have a quinoa, we don't need to have oats. No, it is our basic, even our millets and all, they are so nutritious and good, which is easily available and friendly to the pocket, which you get. And you can just incorporate those in the flours into your chapati. Okay, the kids may not like a bajra chapati by itself alone, but like, then whenever I'm making chapati, I'm making theplas or I'm making parathas, I make sure that, one part of the flour is like kind of a millet or something, and they're not only having wheat or anything. So that is how I have trained and I have developed recipes. And even salads and all which I make, I even the customers whom I have been giving. So that is what is seasonal, what is local, I try to use that. And even the marinades or anything, like, like just now lychees are in season, so I make a lovely salad with a lychee chutney just to top on it, with a fresh lychee, coriander, and chili, and one chili according to your taste, and a squeeze of lime, because the lychees are sweet by itself. So I try to, like, means my kids also, I like, mango was in season, so I kind of make a mango salsa for them. So, like, by itself they don't want mango. Oh, if I eat mango, I'll get boils, I will get this, that. So they refuse to eat mango. So that is how I disguise food, or I make it interesting from what is there in my pantry, but never go over the step, to buy, okay, I need to have this. No, like, what is there with me, just try to incorporate all that and, give it to them. Like, even if I make a pizza sauce, they love it on a khakra, which I make it at home. A quick snack, I just take the khakra, I spread the pizza sauce on it, and like just put this thing, just put some veggies on it. So there is no refined flour which is going. It's the home roti which I have just made into a khakra and given it to them. So so like, and sometimes like my son, like my older one, he is too much like, high protein, then I just make a base out of grated paneer for him. I just spread it on in a round and just put the sauce and veggies, and he just has it, and that's a healthy and a nutritious meal. You don't need anything. So I always tell mothers that, you may feel that, diet food means I have to do a lot of things, and people spend also so much insane amount. Even in the lockdown, I used to observe when I used to go to buy groceries, like, people are asking for such specific, oh, I need my quinoa flour, oh, I need my this, and the shopkeeper certain time used to reply, okay, madam, what the regular groceries there, you take that. What in the lockdown, I can't, like, whatever I have, I don't have specially. But people are obsessed with it. But I feel you can always do with your this thing, home food, and make it more interesting. I had initially, long back, I had given in a booklet of recipes to this thing, the Art of Living Center, or the Healthy for the Kids also.
Wow, very nice. I should dig it up for my kids now.
Any South Indian recipes?
South Indian I do, but then I do my version of it. So I don't know the authentic South Indian. So then you will say you are massacring my recipe. I'm making it a Gujarati South Indian then.
Probably no, Sneha ji may help us with it.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, will do.
I'm sure, Purvi ji, we have to call you.
Sorry?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes. You can call me anytime. I am glad. I like to share I never hide. I always feel when you share, you pass on your knowledge, and the more people are going to benefit from it. That's what I feel. You can't just cling things to yourself. You just need to share things. So always do that to the people who want to make, and I give them suggestions, do this, do that. Like, means my son, again, no rice. So then I just have a barley which is there at home. So I make a risotto out of that, put saute mushrooms and everything. And it's a fancy Italian meal, but it's then again a healthy meal. You're not having, anything. And there, of course, there's no cream or cheese inside. But then with the vegetable stock and the mushrooms and the veggies, a little bit of garlic, it tastes equally good. So you don't even feel that you're eating jaw or barley, For them, barley is a fancy word. So they are very happy that, oh, I'm eating barley. But we know that it's like a native grain which you are eating. So it's okay.
And I think that's also very important to incorporate native foods to our diet, what according to the climate, according to, whatever is available. I think that is also very key to healthy food.
Down the line, like, when I studied nutrition, and I had like I had my two senior most teachers who were South Indians, and they used to always tell us, that you should have what is seasonal or what is native to your soil, because your system is able to digest that better than anything which you are getting it outsourced from somewhere else or anything. And I think in all these years, I also believe that what is native to us should be used, and the seasonal this thing, because each thing has its own benefits.
True. Thank you, Purvi ji. Actually, I was about to ask a question to Dr. Alka, but since we are on this topic of food, would you mind if I deviate to Sneha first?
It's very tempting.
I know. And Purvi ji, I'm telling you, we are going to bring you again on the show to have, maybe we'll have your recipes where you share. Yes. My mouth is already watering.
Maybe we should have a live show.
Because I in this lockdown, I have just started, like, because Mumbai is still not open like the other cities. We have still a kind of a partial kind of a lockdown going on because of the high number of cases. So, like, because there was a lot of demand, I've just started, like, kind of delivering pack, like, if you are 3 or 4, and then like making a healthy lunch or dinner, and then delivering it to them.
Do you deliver to Hyderabad as well?
Yeah.
When I come, I'll get it for you, sure. When I visit Hyderabad, I will surely get it for you. I'll
We are
get
going
my
to share your number. We are going to share your number on this handle now. All right. So, Sneha, when we were having a test of our, the platform, my son came and told me that I'm not going to eat this pumpkin thingy. And, he was like, also knows that I'm with other people and he knows I'm not going to insist that he eats it at that point of time. So, Sneha shared something very nice. I thought that was very insightful, and other parents should also benefit from your knowledge. Sneha, over to you.
Yeah, no, it boils down to the same thing again in terms of not being hierarchical with your children, to help them understand how food probably helps them and why do they need to eat the veggies. But there are certain times where like you said, Gauri, the other time, that it is also important for us as parents to become a little bit more assertive when we are putting rules, and we can put rules together. And a friend of mine really gave me this fantastic idea of chairing meetings in the house, where you sit together and have meetings, and ask your children to also chair meetings sometimes. Probably that will also give them that the happiness that they are taking the leadership role in the house for a change, not just their parents. So I think it gives them it gives you that opportunity to interact with your children. And there's one single rule in our house that applies to everybody: eat it or eat it. There's no leave it. Yes, but at the end of the day, sometimes those rules don't work, because if we have struggled giving them vegetables all these years and suddenly we want to impose it on them, of course they're not going to eat it. They will resist it. We don't like change as adults, right? So the children are the same like us. If we don't like immediate sudden changes in our lives, the same way the children are also going to show resistance towards any new thing that you're going to ask them to do. So there's this one thing. This is only for parents. I hope no children are listening to me, because they will all benefit. So there's one thing that really, really works is, it's okay if your children skip a meal if they're very fussy. This is for those extreme children. This is for those extreme cases when they are not eating any vegetables whatsoever. If it's okay if they skip a meal, but they will come around and eat what's on the table served for them, and they will sit and eat with you at some point in time. But what happens to us is that we kind of, we succumb to it. We kind of don't want our children to miss that meal, or we really feel very bad the fact that they're not eating what's healthier for them. The trade-offs there could be probably the basic fact that you're not telling them, I will give you a chocolate at the end of it. No, but the trade-off could be something better. Let me cook a meal for you that you like the way you like. So, like I was sharing with you in the afternoon, the whole, like Purvi also said, I completely fill most of my meals with all kinds of veggies. It's like vegetables, rainbows in everything, literally. But then there's just one rule in the house that's made by my daughter, that when we make pasta, there's no veggies in it. Even my friends' children love me for that, because they say, auntie doesn't add veggies to her pasta and they're more tasty. So you win some, you lose some, right? So you kind of have that give and take, but then you know that most of the times they're getting what they want. So give in to their demands as well, and also ask them to also listen to you, and make that again as a team effort. And that I've seen has worked for a lot of my clients when they've shared with me, when they've come to me for nutrition coaching, but they've told me that, hey, this is all okay for me, but I want my child also to start eating like this, but I can't get him or her to do this way. So this has some, in extreme cases, it has really worked. But otherwise, I think a one-on-one interaction or a team meeting kind of a thing in the house definitely works. Definitely works.
that's what I do. Like I sit with my kids and like, we sort of kind of, okay, let's make a menu. You tell me what you would like to, then I will say what I can give you. See, and then down the line, they have realized if I tell them bread twice a week, and they will be immediately, no, 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 it's bread 2 times a week. No, it's only like, they themselves eventually have realized that, yes, initially there was a bargain somewhere where you come some way, I'll come some way, and then there has like, so they have to tell me weekly what they want, like, for their snacks, or even if they're taking their tiffins in the school or in the office, they have to tell me what they would like to eat. Then again at night, and then that's how, like, the negotiations are, and then eventually they themselves realize, that what's good for them, what is bad, and immediately they are there to point you out. If you say, okay, should I make this today, so then they'll say, no, no, like, I had a heavy meal the previous night. If I'm going to have this, then I don't want to have this. So I feel it works. It really works.
The awareness about the food also comes up when you do this. Yeah.
No, and the funniest thing is, I'm sure all of us as parents would have experienced that at some point in time. When you reason something out to your children, and then you end up not following that rule yourself, they'll be the first ones to remind you.
Absolutely.
Then you know you've done your job well.
Yes, exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Very true.
Because children are born with discipline and love. So this is something, if we are out of track, then they will bring us on track. So this is something which we can tell children from the beginning itself, because they are born with that discipline and they like to be disciplined.
They are the best observer, I must say. And what we're talking about the first child and all the food habits, they should be ingrained when they are young. What happens in the young stage? If the child doesn't eat, the mummy is so sensitive, so she'll give another dish to the child. And this is how the psychology of the child builds up. Oh, if I don't like anything, I'll have another thing in my plate, right? So it needs to be put from the early childhood. And yes, we need to follow first, then the children will follow to us, because they are the superb observant.
Yes.
So
By the way, those of you who don't know, Alka ji is a fantastic cook. And there is no way her children would have refused to eat what she cooks. She's a fantastic cook.
Wow. So that's why I so much wanted to share. This is my experience. Whatever we serve children from the early childhood, we need not to give any explanations also to them, because they know this is the principles of my house. So if I'm eating, I need to empty out the full plate. I cannot leave even a bite in that. And whatever is served is served. And absolutely, when the children grow up, they are into their friend circle. They want to have taste. They need to taste lot of things. Fine. So as Purvi she explained us, you take it once in a while, they can have that also. We can make at home also in a delicious way, because presentation is more important. And the youths and the teens, they love the presentation.
Yes, presentation is more important.
Very true.
Yeah.
Now, I before because I had this, when we had this conversation, when we were testing this platform, I came across something very interesting that Ashwin was discussing with Dr. Alka about the psychology of pain. As a physiotherapist, and I'm going to come back to the food part of it also, but the nutrition part of it also. But we have already done 1 hour of the show, and maybe we'll stay on for another 10 minutes. This is such an engrossing and engaging conversation. I don't want to stop, but I think we should follow the time as well. So Alka ji, could you please talk a little bit so that we also understand about the psychology of pain?
Yeah, it really works a lot. I'll just share an example. I am just treating a patient. She's 82 years old, and since 4 months she was bedridden. And she and her husband had taken in granted that now no more she is going to walk on her own. She is not going to even move from her bed. That was the psychologist set into her. And in a month, like I'm going to her since a month, in a month now she is cooking for herself.
Wow.
So how psychology works, It is like wonder. Another thing is she's having fracture in one leg. So since 4 months she was bedridden, there was no weightage on the left foot. So the complete weightage was on the right foot. So now, like, I'm really struggling psychologically, mentally, emotionally for her, so that she starts putting weight on her left foot. So this is how it works. See, mentally we think about something. Oh, this is not for me. It will never happen to me. If I think, oh, I cannot cross this border of mine, it will never happen, because mentally I've set up the benchmark for me. I have put the framework to myself. So similarly, like the teens they are, oh, we should to look cool, dude. We should have junk. We should be around our friends. Absolutely. But at the same time, if they are aware, if they are fit, they have a good posture, the confidence speaks from their body. They carry that confidence, that stability to them. So they automatically will be cool, dude. They will look cool, dude, because first impression is the last impression. So they really need not to indulge themselves in so many different things which is harmful to their life. But yeah, definitely small awareness and they can be the brightest person coming up. So yeah, definitely the pain factor. We just think I have a pain. If I think I have a pain, the pain will never reduce. Whatever exercise you do, whatever treatment you do, it will not go. So for allopathy, this is the difference between allopathy, homeopathy, and Ayurveda. If you trust, if you have faith on on homeopathy and Ayurveda, things will work to the bestest. I'm not complaining about allopathy because we need allopathy when it is really needed. So allopathy also plays their part very well. But psychological, if we are assertive, if we are positive, if we look forward for new things, if we are open for new things, definitely it is going to work like wonders in one's life. So it can be physiotherapy, it can be diet, I would say nutrition, diet. Yes, it can be relationship with parents or with the friends or with the society. For anything, it works like wonders.
Yeah, actually, last time when we were
right
having
there.
the
Sorry, go
discussion,
ahead.
even Dr. Ravi was sharing that there is psychosomatic disorders are on a rise. Those who are stressful complain more often of pains and aches elsewhere in the body. And this is usually not because of any organic cause, but because of just the stress which people have. So I think we should
Perfect.
focus more on lifestyle changes, uh, as everyone has discussed till now.
No, and I guess it's so important because the connective tissue or the fascia in our body are known to be the maximum innervated tissue in the system, right? More than your muscles or anything else. It's supposed to have the maximum amount of innervation. That means wherever the highest number of innervation is, extreme amount of storage, right? Memory storage. That means it stores any kind of trauma, ache, pain. And then that's really nice what Nihar has asked in the live comment section. He's asked about how pranayama works. And that is what, like Alka said and Dr. Ashwin said, I think it's so important for us to invoke the parasympathetic nervous system in our body because we're always triggered these days. Our stressors, we're always on the rise. We're always, always triggered by something or the other. It's so important for us to have that parasympathetic nervous system brought into place, whether it's yoga, Pilates, gyrokinesis, any of those movements, right? Or even pranayama, just sitting and meditating. If for people who can't, maybe just sitting and doing the Sudarshan Kriya it's helped so many of my clients, and I cannot tell you how many of my clients have been helped by doing basic Sudarshan Kriya exercises, breathing exercises, and has helped them become pain-free. And that has such a huge impact on the system, the whole body. It's really huge. Yeah.
Completely agree. Snehaji, completely agree, because the pain, the issues inside the body, it is completely linked with the mind. So if the mind is relaxed, if the mind is composed, if the mind is focused to some creativity, definitely such things will never touch to us. And this works the best when you meditate. When a person meditate, whether it is a 8 years child or 80 years person. It works like wonders in one's life. And this is what, out of experience, I'm talking about. When the way we communicate with the patients, with the people, half of their pain just goes away. This is what I have experienced from my physiotherapy. You really need not to be very smart or awesome physiotherapist, but yes, you need to be a very good human. You need to be a very loving and caring person. The communication you must be relating with the patient should be absolutely on their part, and then the magic really works. So it is, the pain is completely, all the illness, all the disorders, I would say, in the body is all related to the mind. So work on the mind, you are fit and fine. Sorry, as a doctor, I'm saying, because I'm shutting down doctors.
No, you're
But
perfect.
yeah, definitely, we would not like more patients. We would like smiley faces.
Yes, absolutely.
If not 100%, at least a major percentage of it is depending on your mindset, on how you look at the whole thing. I think we really need to retrain the whole society or the community how to look at pain itself, where retrain people about pain. we're taught wrongly about pain.
Gurudev also says pain is inevitable, but suffering is your choice.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Purvi ji, you were saying something?
I was also just going to say that, means any kind of diet also to work, if there are no lifestyles. See, the major thing today what we face is all our lifestyles, and like today's youth or teenagers, they are too active on the social media. You see today's youth telling, oh, I can't sleep till 2 o'clock. They are on their Insta, Twitter, whatever, but it has like
that was my next question, Purvi ji.
Because if you see that, because I have two teenage, of course not teenage now, they're not teenagers, but I've gone through this process, so I know it very well. And they would say, oh, I'm having a headache, I think my numbers for my specs has increased. And whenever I used to take them for an eye checkup, I used to say, oh, please switch off your phone 1 hour before you go to sleep. This is all related to you being on the phone. So it's for any diet to succeed, or your lifestyle is very important, like has even Sneha ji said, or if you don't have your lifestyle in a proper perspective, you are going to face n number of problems. And that is what I have been observing and seeing. Today the younger people also, they are having so many injuries, when they are exercising, or they are doing whatever trainings in the gym or anything, and for their threshold to bear, or bear the injury or anything is massively reduced, and they are having such severe problems at such young age, having a slip disc or whatever it is. So I don't know how, in this was when, at least when we were younger, it was not there, but today I have seen, because of the lifestyle changes and everything, the kids are more stressed out, and it is leading to one thing to another. It's all interconnected.
Very true. I think we need to address stress itself, and this is what the art of living does as well, to create happy people around. When I would hear about happy people and, happiness, I would always think of it as a very fancy word. Of course, everybody wants to be happy. There's no denying it. But then it sounds like something like really fancy. But then when I really look around, when I talk to people, when I interact with people, everybody wants happiness, and in order to have happiness, you have to be stress free. With all this stress, there is no space for happiness. There is no space for health, to have good health either, isn't it? So happiness is key, health is key. And I think the main thing we should look at is how to remove stress from your life, how to remove stress from your mind. And that's why we have the Sudarshan Kriya. The Art of Living offers programs for children, for teenagers, and for parents, for adults, there is a technique called the Sudarshan Kriya. It is a very powerful, simple, effective, rhythmic breathing exercise which helps to flush out the toxins from the system and infuse you with energy, oxygen, health. It's amazing. And all of us have done the Sudarshana Kriya, and we can all say that it's been very, very effective for us in managing our mind, in managing our health, in also having an endurance to pain also, I would say. Yes. All right. There was a question. Sorry. Alkaji, please go ahead.
Completely agree. And this lockdown is the best time to utilize. No, you be creative. You so many online workshops are there. You can indulge yourself, your children, and yes, art of living workshops are definitely there. We have different frameworks for different children, for different category of children. So perfectly, it works like wonders. And yeah, we are doing it. We are seeing the happy faces, thousands of faces.
And Alkaji, we've been having these online programs for children and teenagers, and a lot of teenagers have come back to us saying that, we were getting frustrated, we were going into depression, we were going into loneliness because children are so used to socializing with their friends. They need people, they need interaction, they need playtime, they need outdoors. And, being inside the house, with gadgets, how long can gadgets be your friend? Yeah, after some time you get stressed there also. Yeah, and then you get fed up. I mean, there is a limit to which the physical body can take, isn't it? So we do offer Art of Living online programs. To know more about these programs, please visit www.artofliving.org/ct. There's one for you as a parent, for you as a child, for you as a teenager, and even if you're a cousin or aunt, you can still do the program. Yeah, there's a program for everyone. And I think good health is very, very important. And that's why we have invited all the speakers on this panel: Purvi Shah ji, Sneha ji, Alka ji, Mangala Gauri ji, and of course our Ashwin Pandit ji. We care for you, and I think there is a lot to learn from all the experts. We will keep coming back to you with more programs. Even I've not had enough talking to Purvi ji and Sneha ji, Alka ji and Mangla ji, but I think it is time to wind up. Would you like to leave a message? Each one of you can take a minute before we wind up. Something that is very important to you, very close to your heart, which you wish to share with our viewers. Please go ahead. Mangla ji?
Yes. So one message what I would like to give to parents are, please allow children to be stakeholders of their decision and give them some purpose for their life. Their age is not a criteria. They can have a purpose at the age of 1 or 2 itself. So this is very important even for handling stress also, because they will have a greater purpose. They will not hang on to smaller things. That's it, Gauri ji.
Yes, Gurudev also says when you have a bigger vision, all your small worries drop off. So it is a good idea to give responsibilities to your children. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mangla Gauri ji. How about you, Sneha ji?
I would say, as a nutritionist, I would really like to say that people are getting obsessed so much about the basic ingredients of food being proteins, carbs, fats. They're really splitting it and tearing the food apart. Focus on vegetables. Fill half of if you have a plate, I would say fill half of your plate with veggies and then fill the rest of it with whatever else you want. That would also probably help a lot of parents who are dealing with trying to trade off children with some junk food or processed food on their plates.
Thank you. Thank you, Sneha ji. That's lovely. How about you, Purvi ji?
I would completely agree with Sneha ji that yes, health is a very important part of your well-being. So you need to take care of it, and as parents, it is our duty to like at least like not force or forcibly tell them to do something, but just make them aware of the necessity of an healthy diet, the part of nutrition plays on our body. Because nowadays you just keep on seeing lot of statistics where you see that, you know, the young generation is getting affected by lifestyle diseases like diabetes and like blood pressure and everything. So yes, health is very important. Parents, you need to be there just to explain, not to be over this thing stressed out that, oh, what I will do and what I will not do. It's just simple and it can be done very easily at home too.
Thank you, Purvi ji. How about you, Dr. Alka?
I would say health is wealth, as all of us know, and important is speak your heart out. All will be resolved. Everything will be set. Just communicate.
Communication is the key then. Thank you. And from you, Dr. Ashwin, I know you and I are moderators of this program, but still.
Oh, nothing. Just eat healthy, sleep well, and eat it or eat it. That is the.
I think Dr. Ashwin has also taken a chapter of the parenting lessons now. Yes, for our parenting workshops, do enroll yourself for the Know Your Child and Know Your Teen programs. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for having come to this program and shared your expertise, your knowledge, not only as experts in this field, but also as parents. That matters a lot for us. Thank you, Mangla ji. Thank you, Sneha ji. Thank you, Alka ji. And thank you, Purvi ji. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
It's been a
We'd
pleasure
love
and an
to
honor.
invite
Thank you.
you for more programs. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was on health and nutrition from the Art of Living Children and Teens programs. It is very, very important to stay healthy, increase your immunity levels, to eat right, and to exercise well. You know, exercise is the key to also maintaining a healthy lifestyle. If your child is not hungry, see whether your child is getting enough exercise or not. Exercise will also help to build hunger. And a healthy appetite is very important to a healthy child. All right. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and more importantly, stay happy. From the Art of Living, Children and Teens, this was a Facebook Live and a YouTube Live. Thank you so much, everyone. And do ensure that you get your children enrolled into the Medha Yoga programs for teenagers for healthy and happy teenagers, the Utkarsh Yoga program for children for healthy, happy, and bright children. And of course, we have the online breath and meditation workshops for the adults. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.